We reserve a few minutes to discuss current trends that you'd expect from reading Bible prophecy. We are futurists. We interpret all unfulfilled prophetic passages as future events that will occur in a literal, physical, apocalyptic, and global context. In his prophetic sermon we called the Olivet Discourse, Jesus said the end times would be like it was in the days of Noah. He specifically referenced strange marriages in the days of Noah. In Genesis chapter 6, we're told that fallen angels were marrying and mating human women. Their offspring are called Nephilim. They were a race of giants. This is not on the fringe. Francis Schaeffer, noted theologian, philosopher, and Christian thinker, has written, "More and more we are finding that mythology in general, though greatly contorted, very often has some historical basis." And the interesting thing is that one myth that one finds over and over again in many parts of the world is that somewhere a long time ago, supernatural beings had sexual intercourse with natural women and produced a special breed of creature. Fallen angels were attempting to corrupt and destroy the human race by altering its essential DNA. Noah is described as a just man, perfect in all his generations. Now, this word perfect doesn't mean sinless, because no one is sinless. It has to do with health and physical condition. And from this we infer that Noah was chosen to carry on and restart humanity after the flood because his genetic bloodline and ancestry were still 100% human. We expect a trend towards altering DNA, and we see it as we search the news. We've reported on human gene editing many times before. A recent article was titled, "Human Experimentation and Gene Editing Inside China's Race to Create Genetically Modified Soldiers." John Ratcliffe, the head of America's intelligence community, is quoted, "China has even conducted human testing on members of the People's Liberation Army in hope of developing soldiers with biologically enhanced capabilities." There's another aspect of this corruption that we rarely mention, perhaps because it's even stranger. In the Genesis account, we read that God looked upon the earth, and indeed it was corrupt. All flesh had corrupted their way on the earth. All flesh would extend to animals. The DNA of animal species was corrupt as well. Now, human-animal hybrid experiments are being conducted in the world today. As long ago as 2003, an article said, Chinese scientists have used parts of the cloning process to produce human-rabbit hybrids. More than 100 of the hybrids were allowed to develop for several days before being destroyed to allow extraction of their embryonic stem cells. 2007, scientists have created the world's first human-sheep hybrid, which has the body of a sheep and half human organs. The sheep have 15% human cells, 85% animal cells, and their evolution brings the prospect of animal organs being transplanted into humans one step closer. 2021, scientists have successfully grown monkey embryos containing human cells for the first time, the latest milestone in a rapidly advancing field. They observed human and monkey cells divide and grow together in a dish, with at least 3 embryos surviving to 19 days after fertilization. These hybrids are called chimera. While there are no human-animal chimera in the Bible, angel-animal chimera may have existed in the days of Noah and afterward. The ancient book of Jubilees is not considered inspired by God, although it is one of 4 additional books in the Catholic Bible. One of the passages in Jubilee reads, "The sons of God," referring to the fallen angels of Genesis, "lusted after mortal women and defiled themselves by sexual intercourse. Before the end, they were indiscriminately enjoying virgins, matrons, men, and beasts." And angel-animal hybrids would account for the origin of many chimera attributed to mythology, such as centaurs and minotaurs. Something called lion men are reported in ancient Nubia, Egypt, India, and Germany. It's a recurring character or creature, and they may be in the Bible. This is just a maybe, but let me read this to you. It's 2 Samuel chapter 23, verse 20. It's a chapter about David's mighty men, the warriors that accompanied him. And we read about this guy, Benaiah. It says he killed 2 lion-like heroes of Moab. Now, that probably just means that they were fierce warriors, that they fought like lions. But in light of the fact that lion men are reported all over the world, in ancient times, it's an interesting thing to contemplate. Whatever's happening, we expect there to be changes in DNA being suggested, and it's really going to get out of hand. Every article ends with a talk about the ethics involved, and nobody knows what's ethical and what's unethical about messing with human DNA and messing with animal DNA, because we all want the organs that could be produced, because there's a big move to live forever, and that would be a big part of it. But it's what we expect as futurists, and we see it happening. We believe the resurrection and the rapture of the church are imminent. Jesus will return in the clouds. He will resurrect the dead in Christ. Those of us who are alive and remain will be changed, and given our glorified bodies, will be caught up to heaven to be with the Lord. It could happen at any moment. It definitely will happen before the Great Tribulation. Are you ready for the rapture? If not, get ready, stay ready, keep looking up. Ready or not, Jesus is coming.